Rare earth elements are a group of 17 metallic elements with unique magnetic and optical properties. Although many of them are relatively common in the Earth's crust, they rarely occur in concentrations that are easy to mine. Extracting and separating them requires complex chemical processes, which makes their production technically challenging. But why do these elements matter so much for modern technology? Rare earth elements are hidden in nearly every modern technology, from smartphones to electric vehicles and wind turbines. Though not actually rare, China controls about 80% of global production. Why? Because mining and processing are complex and environmentally damaging, and China has monopolized the supply chain. Today, we explore how this dependency works and why Europe relies so heavily on imports. In Biotu, Inner Mongolia, China mines nearly half of the world's rare earths. The process leaves behind vast toxic lakes and radioactive waste, posing severe health risks. Yet China maintains this production because it controls over 85% of global refining capacity, making the world dependent on its supply. Germany imports over 2/3 of its rare earths directly from China, more than any other EU country. In 2025, 65.5% of all rare earth metals, totaling 3,400 tons, were sourced from China, with additional indirect imports from Austria and Estonia, which process Chinese raw materials. This dependency is especially critical for electric vehicles, wind turbines, and defense technologies, where rare earth magnets are irreplaceable. The EU's Critical Raw Materials Act now limits imports from a single country to 65% by 2030, but Germany's industry still faces supply chain risks as China controls 90% of global processing. Without diversification, production delays and price shocks could disrupt key sectors. Germany actually has rare earth deposits, for example in Storkwitz, Saxony. So why doesn't it mine them? 3 main reasons. First, German ore concentrations are much lower than in China, making extraction expensive. Second, strict environmental laws and high energy costs make domestic mining unprofitable. Third, China's dominance in processing means even German mined ore would likely be sent to China for refinement. The result? It's cheaper and easier to import, despite the risks. While projects like the Storkwitz mine could supply up to 5,000 tons annually, they remain on hold due to economic and regulatory hurdles. Recycling rare earths seems like the perfect solution, but less than 1% of global supply comes from recycling. Why? First, the concentrations in products like smartphones or wind turbines are extremely low, making recovery difficult and expensive. Second, separating the 17 different elements requires advanced technology that's still in development. Germany's largest recycling plant in Bitterfeld operates below capacity because it can't compete with cheap Chinese imports. Even with EU funding, experts estimate recycling won't cover more than 10% of demand by 2030. Without major breakthroughs, we'll remain dependent on mining.